Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. So today I will discuss about practical implementation of Scikit-learn, which we have seen that it is a machine learning library. एक machine learning library है और इसमें practically हम जो है किस तरह से implementation कर सकते हैं. So first of all, I will make a blank Python file. I'm using PyCharm, so I will just name it the tutorial. That's a very big name, but I will just go for that. Okay, I have made the new file. So ये मैंने एक नई file बनाई है, and what I will do is first of all you need to have certain libraries, and there are some prerequisites for that. I will show you कि आपके पास क्या क्या होना चाहिए, what you should have in the form of libraries installed. PyCharm IDE is very impressive in this way because it gives you facility to install certain libraries at your convenience. So let's see, I am in Mac, so it will come from this preferences, but and on Windows you will go to settings, and here I have an interpreter, and this is a 3.8 Python 3.8, and I have already installed many libraries in it. Most of them are here, but if you need to install, then this is the plus this plus button. So whenever you will press the press button, so you will you need to connect to the internet that time. तो आपको इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट होना चाहिए उस टाइम पे, तो आप जो है वो इस पे सर्च कर सकते हैं अपनी जो prerequisite libraries are. So you can search the prerequisite libraries in here. So what we will do, we need three libraries mainly. One is pandas. So this is pandas, and I have already installed that, but you need to do it, install it when you are opening it for the first time, dealing with it first time. So आपको install करनी है. Second library is NumPy. So this library is very powerful library, and this manages your data in the array-like structures. And by the way, pandas is used for making data frames, and most of the Scikit-learn you can say architecture supports NumPy and pandas. So NumPy और pandas दोनों को ये बहुत आसानी से support करता है. And the third library which you need obviously is Scikit-learn. So this one you need to install all three of them, or when you will install them, so it will automatically install the prerequisites, many prerequisites into your system as well. So आप जैसे ही इंस्टॉल करेंगे तो जो इससे लिंक्ड लाइब्रेरीज हैं वो भी ऑटोमेटिकली इंस्टॉल हो जाएंगी. So first thing we need to do is we need to include the data set. You can also include your own data set, but Scikit-learn gives you the facility of importing some data sets which are present in the library. तो Scikit-learn library में already कुछ data sets मौजूद हैं जिसको आप जो है अपने मर्जी के मुताबिक जो है वो include कर सकते हैं, और ये बहुत popular data sets हैं. They are very popular data sets. For example, so I will include from sklearn. So Scikit-learn को हम जो access करते हैं वो sklearn से करते हैं. So we access the Scikit-learn by using sklearn keyword, sklearn dot, and you can see that there are multiple things here. But first of all, I will go for dataset. मैं dataset include करूँगा. Import datasets में से मैं बहुत सारे datasets मौजूद हैं already. मैंने आपको बताया IRIS is very popular dataset. Breast cancer, wine, digits, diabetes, Boston files. So I will go for IRIS dataset. ये बहुत popular dataset है. So सबसे पहले मैं dataset को include कर रहा हूँ, और इसको हम पहले initialize करते हैं. तो जब भी आप किसी क्लास को या पहले आप इंक्लूड करते हैं तो you need to make its object. So I have included, if I am accessing class of some method, so I need to make object of it. So what we will do is initialize the load iris, and this has been initialized, and it has, if you just hover your mouse over this particular method, आप इसके ऊपर अगर अपना लेकर जाएं माउस, तो आपको ये इसकी डिटेल भी बताएगा. सो इसके कौन से पैरामीटर्स और ये वो, तो so we need to deal with this particular parameter. By default value it is false. So but we need to specify that it need to be true, because what this does is that it makes the data and your data labels available, data and your target labels available to your data, and you can store them into some variables. So for example, I will say return xy is equal to true. So ये मैंने data set include कर लिया, initialize कर लिया. So I have included and initialized the data set. I will store them into two separate labels. One for here x is for my data, and y is for target. That means data labels. So both of them are here. So next thing, as I included the data set, you can see how many instances are there, what is the shape of the data, how many rows and columns are there. For that purpose, you can just use the print command for right now, x dot shape. Similarly, आप लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, you can do is print the shape for the data labels as well, target labels as well. So I will just execute it for right now, for the moment. So as you can see here, as I have shown you, this as I have initialized this RS data set method. So basically इसने क्या किया कि मेरे दो variables x और y में, x में हमारे मेरे जो है वो इसमें input दे दिया है मेरे instances की, और इसमें rows and columns दोनों आ जाएंगे मेरे data की, and y में मेरे data labels हैं. आप देख सकते हैं कि पहला print जो x dot shape है उसमें मेरे पास 4 जो columns हैं और 150 rows हैं. So basically 150 are instances and 4 are attributes. And for y are our data labels or target. So we have 150, you can say 150 rows available for that, and one for single column. Normally Python doesn't show the number of columns, so it has a single column here. So as I told you earlier, that index position 1 or 2 of the same index position are attached to each other. So for example, index position of I index, if there is an index position I in x, x is an array here, and the same index position in y, they are both linked. So in y, the targets are stored, so the relevant target is linked to the its data in that way. So first thing, so we have what we have done here, just we have seen that what kind of data we have and how we are dealing with. So I will just comment it for right now, and this code will be available to you through a link on GitHub. So I will share it with you guys. So I will comment as well. This is just to see shape of the data, that is rows and columns. And similarly, this shows and the shape of target slash labels. Okay. So next thing what we need to do is that separate the data. As you know that in machine learning, we need to separate our data into training and testing. So first we need to separate it, and then we can use it in our model building process. So for that purpose, from Scikit-learn dot. So we have model selection here and import. So there are multiple methods what I will use for train test separate. So train test separate actually gives us the facility of separating this particular data into training and testing. And we can do it both for our data labels and our data itself as well. So I will initialize it, train test separate. As you can see, as I hover it over it, so it need to have input arrays as input. इसमें arrays as input जानी चाहिए. तो मेरे पास arrays x और y हैं यहाँ पे. So I will give it y. Okay. Next you can do is you can specify the test size. So test size is just like so you can either specify test size or you can specify the train size. So 0.4. So here 0.4 means 40%. And if you specify 0.5, that means 50%. And if we specify 0.3, that means 30% of the data. And similarly, there is another variable, another parameter, random state. So you can specify random state 0. So what random state does, it is a very interesting thing. Random state actually, I will just go to the documentation. If yes, so random state actually, when you are creating the split, it actually whether you want to shuffle the data before splitting it into training and testing, or you just don't want it. So this may, if you want to do shuffling, then you will set the value of random state is equal to 1. So it will always shuffle the data. So that is what happens. And in one way, it may avoid some of your feature selection bias, but in true sense, it may not at all. And you need to specify other methods, which we will cover later on. So right now I have just initialized the separating of my data, and obviously X is my data. So I need to store it in as a training. X underscore train is my variable, and you can name it anyway. I created 4 variables, and actually this is because true are for training and true are for testing. X train and Y train will get the data labels and target for training data, and this will right now it will include 70% of the data, and other will be testing. And in order to confirm this, we'll just print their shapes. हम इनकी शेप प्रिंट करेंगे तो हमें पता लग जाएगा कितने % हमारा जो डाटा है वो ट्रेनिंग में आया है. So shape, and similarly print so I will, for right now, I will just just run it. Sorry, this need to be shaped. It has given me actual data, which I don't want right now. Okay, so you can see that 30% of the data is actually separated as test data, and remaining 70% is in the training data. So this is my training data. If I may just so I will just concatenate it. Sorry, this is not saying, so I will just cast it, typecast it. So now it would work. So this is my training data, and similarly, this is my test data. So this is my training data, and this is my testing data. I have just, for the sake of aesthetics, I just formalized it. And if you just change this value, you can see clearly see the division. 1 for 50 are the total number of instances, and we have divided into 90/60, which is exactly the 60/40 ratio. And obviously attributes remain the same. We are not doing, we are not reshaping the number of attributes at all. So right now we have done two things. First, loading the data set, and then secondly, taking control of it and separating it into training and testing parts. Next thing is we need to make a model. We need to include a model. So for that purpose, I will go for right now random forest. So random forest is a class of method which is ensemble method. Ensemble, as you know, that are the type of methods which are the group of multiple classifiers or estimators. So random forest, we can, whether we want to use it as a classifier or regressor, that depends on you. But right now I am using iris dataset, so I will be using it for the classifier. And once you have done that, you need to initialize the random forest. So I will just pardon the, just use the typos right now. So random forest classifier. So you can see, as you know, you can see that this is an ensemble method. So by default, there are some parameters which I need to give, but you can define your own parameters as well. For example, number of estimators are by default 100, but you can just specify if you want more estimators. Number of estimators mean that number of decision trees it will make, because it's an ensemble. So number of each estimator is will be decision tree. So you can also specify the max step, because it does the bootstrap aggregating or bagging. So max step you can say, okay, 3. So these are what parameters you choose that somehow affects how your classifier will act or estimator will act. So I have initialized this classifier and will store it in the random forest in a variable, and will name it as CLF. So this is a variable just for that I want to remember. And then just now go for fitting. For that, it's very straightforward. I have a variable CLF underscore variable underscore RF dot fit. So आप जब ये कर लेंगे तो अब आपके पास ये fit method जैसे कि मैंने पहले बताया था, you it will build your classifier or estimator or model, and you need to give the input of arrays which have your training data. So वो रेज आप इसमें देंगे जो जिसमें आपका ट्रेनिंग डाटा है। मेरे यहाँ पे एक्सट्रेन और उसके लेबल्स वाई ट्रेन। Okay, this is the fitting, and so once you've done that, so now you really need to predict it. So for prediction, there are two ways actually, and one way is very simple. Just say score. Okay. Oh, sorry, not score. In fact, CLF. So score. So score is a method which actually gives you accuracy in return, and you can input the testing test data set into it. For example, I have that in X test and its label. हमारे पास जिन एरेज में टेस्टिंग डाटा था हमने वो इसको इनपुट देनी है और दैट्स इट, हमें इतना ही चाहिए। सो आप इसको किसी सेपरेट वेरिएबल में स्टोर करवा सकते हैं। मैं इसको rf अंडरस्कोर एक्यूरेसी का एक वेरिएबल क्रिएट कर लेता हूँ और नाउ योर क्लासिफायर इज रेडी और यू जस्ट नीड टू प्रिंट इट्स वैल्यू। ओके, सो ये पॉइंट्स में देगा तो मैं इसको 100 से मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा तो ये परसेंटेज में दे देगा वैल्यू, लेकिन मैं अभी इसको ऐसे ही एग्जीक्यूट करके दिखाता हूँ आपको। So 0.933%. So in order to give it into a percentage, you need to just multiply it by 100, and this will give you the over accuracy in the form of percentage. So this is your accuracy. So this is test set accuracy for random forest. Okay, so if I execute it again, so this is my accuracy. So you can see different ways. If I just alter this percentage to 0.3, you can see that the accuracy has differed, and this is because it is going towards overfitting. The more we train, the more it is likely that model will be going towards the overfitting. तो जितना ज़्यादा हम डाटा ट्रेनिंग के लिए देंगे, डाटा आपका मॉडल उतना ज़्यादा कम्प्लेक्स होता जाएगा और वो आपको जो है वो ओवरफिटिंग की तरफ जाना शुरू कर देगा। बट इट कैन ऑल्सो बी अ थिन लाइन, बिकॉज आप इसको अगर ट्रेनिंग सेट पे एक्यूरेसी मैयर करें तो वो ज़रा डिफरेंट होगी। सो वी कैन ऑल्सो मैयर आवर एक्यूरेसी ऑन ट्रेनिंग सेट। This is just a variable, so I will just do the same, which I have done below. Just I have to do the training set again as a input. So I will just give us a hint of what is the difference between the two. So you can see the training set. Sorry, this is the training set. So I just need to edit. And if we I just increase my test size, which means I'm keeping 40% for the testing and 60%. So you can see the difference between the two. And the difference is very huge. For training, it is 98.88, almost 99. And for testing on test data set, it is 90%. So that is a very good generalization in terms of modeling as we speak. So similarly, we can try different algorithms and different model selection methods. And for this video, I will keep it here, and I will cover that in the coming videos. And thank you, and hope you learned something, and stay tuned and subscribe. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.